From Neural Newscast, this is Stereo Current, sound, culture, and the systems that shape them.
Stereo.
The needle drops, the dust clears, and suddenly the ghosts of 2011 are back in the room.
You're listening to Stereo Current. We're sifting through the noise to find the signals that actually matter in the indie landscape. Today, April 5th, 2026.
Julian, the headline that stopped my heart this week was the return of the heavy pop disciples. It feels like a fever dream, but it's real.
It's been 15 years, Sloan. 15 years since WU LYF released Go Tell Fire to the Mountain and then seemingly vanished into the ether. But earlier this week, on April Fool's Day, they dropped Fool, and it wasn't a joke.
Fittingly irreverent of them, their new album, A Wave That Will Never Break, is set to arrive on April 10th. What strikes me is the lack of compromise. They've bypassed the standard streaming algorithms entirely, Julian. It's a community-only release via their own website.
It's a bold move, very in line with their ethos. They've brought in Sonic Boom, the Spaceman 3 legend, to produce it. Recorded in Lisbon, Fool sounds like that archetypal holy fool they describe in the notes. Yearning, divine, and leaning into that rock and roll cliché with a wink.
It's that tension between the sacred and the grimy that always made them magnetic. But while WYLYF is reclaiming their past, we have new artists like Mariangela who are redefining the very geography of sound.
Yeah, Mariangela is doing something fascinating in Monterrey. She's blending norteño and cumbia with this very polished indie pop sensibility. She's not just using accordion as a gimmick, she's using it as a family language for modern storytelling.
Exactly. Her latest, Adios Adios, and the album Sensible, they have this border-crossing identity. She's influenced by Natalia Lafourcade, but also by the Anglo folk of Joan Baez. It's that cantatora tradition evolving into something much more introspective and binational.
It reminds me a bit of Rex Novi's debut, Burial at Sea, which just arrived. Talk about high concept. He's out of Atlanta, and he's using this metaphor of being lost at sea to navigate the complexities of Black identity in America.
Fair. The opener, Heaven Haven, actually adapts a Gerard Manley Hopkins poem about a nun taking the veil. To go from that to grimy, Clips-esque hip-hop on tracks like Blackwater is a massive stylistic swing, Julian.
10 years in the making, and you can hear the labor. It's orchestral, it's cinematic, and it ends with a cover of Incubus's Aqueous Transmission that somehow feels completely essential to the narrative.
It's that same defiance we're seeing from Jessica Silva. Her new record, Glitter Up the Dark, produced by Aaron Lee Tajjan, is just a riot of queer joy. It's got that 80s pop rock vigor, but it's anchored by these really visceral folk lyrics.
Tajjan's touch is all over it. You've got Butch Walker and Dadia Victoria contributing too. It's anthemic, but it doesn't shy away from the ugly to find the pretty. It's about being a beacon in the darkness.
Which brings us to the ultimate beacon for the Avant-Garde. Julian, were you following the dispatches from Knoxville this past weekend?
Big Ears Festival. Sloan, there is nothing else like it. Where else do you see David Byrne riding his bike through town while John Zorn is playing 12 different sets across 4 days?
It feels like a true scene intelligence hub. Laurie Anderson calling it the best festival ever really says it all. I loved the report of the 8-hour South Asian classical presentation, Ragamala. It's a festival within a festival.
That's surprising. And the spontaneous moments, like the glass-blowing demonstration set to live improvisation. It's that tactile human element. Even Robert Plant was there, covering 19th century Scottish folk songs with Saving Grace.
It's a stark contrast to the algorithmically programmed festivals we see elsewhere. Speaking of tactile, we should mention Eric Hall, or EH, and his Off the Beaten Path Expanded Edition. That is pure, unadulterated guitar authority.
EH is the real deal, mixed and mastered himself in Baltimore. It's instrumental rock that breathes, it's muscle and instinct over digital convenience. Tracks like Frazzled and Windy in the Woods show he's got the technical command, but he never lets it bury the melody.
It's been a week of heavy hitters and poetic protests. Paul Gianicola's Sorrow in My Soul is still ringing in my ears, a folk fury inspired by the Minneapolis shootings. It's raw testimony, Julian, no ornamental cushioning. To close things out, we have 10 essential listens for your week. We have to start with the unexpected return of WU LYF. The Manchester Pioneers are back with Fool, a track that brings that raw, heavy pop urgency and signature reverb we have been missing.
Next up is Jesse De Silva with Glitter Up the Dark. It is a beautiful, shimmering exploration of queer joy and resilience with those lush 80s inflected arrangements.
Moving into experimental hip-hop, Rex Novi's debut, Burial at Sea, is massive. It uses an ambitious operatic scale to really dig into modern Black identity.
And for the alternative fans, the Dam Builders are back with Shrine. It keeps that signature violin-driven sound they are known for, but adds a fresh layer of modern grit.
If you need something smoother, Eric Hilton has Off the Beaten Path. It is pure down-tempo gold, opting for analog warmth and meticulous composition over algorithmic trends.
Wait, what? We also have some powerful folk and soul on the list. Paul Gianicola brings real defiance in Sorrow in My Soul, while Yolanda Johnson delivers a masterclass in self-advocacy with her track STFU.
On the avant-garde side, Wendy Eisenberg's Viewfinder is a must-listen. Following their time at Big Ears, this really cements them as a premier architect of experimental guitar.
And we are revisiting a classic with Lauren Anderson's Big Science. She is a total legend who continues to define the boundaries of art pop and multimedia.
Finally, we have Mariangela with Sensible. It is a perfect example of music without borders, blending norteño sensibilities with a sharp indie pop edge.
A fantastic range of sounds to get through. And with that stack on your queue,
from the folk fury of Gianicola to the sepia-soaked self-advocacy of Yolanda Johnson's STFU, the scene is vibrating with a lot of necessary noise right now. We're just here to help you hear. Keep your ears open and your stylus clean. Check out stereocurrent.neuralnewscast.com for the full scene report.
this has been Stereo Current.
Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Stereo Current on Neural Newscast. Sound, culture, and the systems that shape them.